So in addition, we're requiring the challenge submission forms, and really the package will include, that we'll be evaluating, will include the cover and abstract. We want to see organizational structure. If we're going to take this to the next phase of implementation, we're looking for teams that have that organizational structure. So we'd like to see that, as well as the narrative, which will really be the meat of your proposal. And we're just iterating the goals that we're looking at. I'll talk in specifics about these in the just here in a minute. But the two other pieces are a press image and a design board. Our idea as part of the award is to get publicity for the teams, have an installation where the community can see what the good work you've done. And finally, we'll be requiring as part of the submission a $100, just a non-refundable submission fee. So let's get to the awards. It's the exciting part. In each category, we will be awarding 4 awards for the concept design. So this is really the submission we'll be evaluating. There'll be 4 awards of $10,000 each for each category. The top 2 in each of those categories will go on to possibly, if we can implement them, receive awards for final design and construction. Now, for public space, it's a little bit more expensive, but we are awarding two $300,000 awards, and for the commercial, private, and governmental institutions, there are 2 awards at $75,000 each. So the total is over $1 million in award funding for this project. So we're very excited to be offering this, and our idea that is in the works right now is to have a ceremony, an award ceremony, and also showcase the design boards for some duration in a local gallery or institution so that people can see what the exciting proposals that and awards that we have selected for this challenge. So we are very excited to have members of the district and also industry experts on our evaluation panel. They'll be going through an evaluation process that is across the board for each one, and we're excited to have members from DC Water as US EPA, DDOE, DDOT, Office of Planning, and other industry experts. So the criteria in each one of these categories are really the goals that we're looking for. Mention innovation. We want to make sure that they're new and exciting technologies, but we really are keying on performance in terms of volume capture. That is, the purpose for us is to remove stormwater out of the combined system and ultimately improve water quality. But of course, they need to be practicable. We want buildable projects that we can implement across the district, so we're looking for that balance and to have operation and maintenance considerations taken into account. So we'll be looking at that. And finally, the triple bottom line benefits, as Carlton mentioned, we're really looking at local job creation and other added benefits, social and economic, that we can get through green infrastructure, so that will be a highly scored category as well. So what are the important dates? The one you really need to be concerned with on the concept submission is October 1st at 5 p.m. That's when we are looking for all submissions. We encourage early submissions, so that will certainly help us, but the final date is October 1st. We'll be announcing finalists on November 1st, a month after, and then the awards ceremony should take place in December. And then we do have some approximate timelines for the design and construction. These are just to sort of help you gauge when and durations, but we think shortly thereafter we'll be going into the design phase and having interview and selection procurement process under DC Water's typical procurement standards. So that would happen, and then we would go into design and construction sometime in mid to late September of 2014. So now I'm going to turn it over to Bethany Bezak, and she's going to walk you through the website just so everyone's clear, because this is really where everything needs to happen, where all the information will be posted, where everything will be stored, and where you'll go to submit your proposal.
So as Ray mentioned, I'll be walking through the main website and the submission process for the Green Infrastructure Challenge. If any of you RSVP'd for this meeting, you've already been to this website. It is dcwater.com/green challenge. So everything takes place on this website. As we've mentioned, all the submissions will be electronic. So this is the main page that you really need to be keyed in onto. So the main thing here is that if you click on this link, you'll be able to pull up the Green Infrastructure Challenge briefing document. This document outlines basically everything we've presented today and gives you a little bit more detailed information on the submission process, the evaluation, all of that criteria. So that's a key document for you. If you click on this link here that's labeled Boundary Map, it pulls up an interactive map, and you'll actually be able to zoom into different locations. The Rock Creek and Potomac watershed boundaries are identified, so you can actually see where your potential project location is, and you can see whether or not it falls within any of those boundaries. As I mentioned, it is interactive, so you're able to zoom in pretty close and see exactly where the boundaries start and end. If you scroll a little bit farther down on this website, you'll see that we have an addenda section at the bottom. Any addenda that we do post will be posted on this website. We don't have any addenda at this time. However, any questions and answers and addenda to the briefing document will be posted here. So keep an eye on that location of the website. When you're ready to submit your design before October 1st at 5 p.m., you'll click on this link. And this is the main submission page for the challenge. What you'll do is you'll download the submission form, and you'll need to complete this PDF form, and then you'll save it and you'll upload it to the website. So just to walk you through some of the information that's required, you will have to provide a primary contact for your team. So obviously all the important information for them needs to be included in that section. You will identify a team name on this form. That can be any team name that you'd like. Then you'll identify the challenge category in which you're submitting your project under, whether it's the public space, the commercial and private, or the government and institutional properties category. And then there's also a checklist on this form just to help you identify exactly what we're requiring, just to make sure that you're submitting everything. So going back to the Submit Your Design page, other information that's required is you'll enter your team name that you identified on the submission, in that field right there, the phone and email for your primary contact. And then the next section that you can see there is the submission upload section. So the first file that you'll upload, you'll just click this choose file right there, and you'll upload the submission form that you just completed with all that information. The next one, you'll upload a PDF, a combined PDF that incorporates the cover for your for your submission. It'll include the abstract of your submission, the org structure, and then lastly a narrative for your project. All of the criteria are actually identified in the briefing document for all of those components, so you can take a look at the briefing document and see exactly what needs to be provided. And again, that's a combined PDF of all those different parts.